everybody, it's your girl V, and I am back yet again with another episode of Loveveetalks. Before we get started, you already know, please do not forget to follow your girl on Instagram and TikTok at Loveveetalks. And if you are interested in collaborating or promo, hit me up at loveveetalks@gmail.com. Thank y'all. I have surpassed 200 subscribers. Thank you so much. I want to celebrate every single milestone because why not? Like, it's a blessing, you know, to have people that feel compelled to follow you, to support you, to listen to you, to watch you. And so that is a blessing. And so I just want to say thank y'all so much because without y'all, I would not be here. So thank you. I wanted to dive into a very serious topic because I think that it needs to be discussed. I think that we need to talk because with sex being all around us in literally everything, I think that we need to talk. Now, I do not like discussing relationships. However, when people ask me for advice, you know, of course, I will give them the best advice I can to my ability. But I don't want to be a relationship guru. I don't want to be like this relationship expert. That's not something that I want to dive into because truthfully, the things that I discuss are related to self-love, self-care, and self-improvement. And that's what I want to be associated with. I am a self-love supporter, if you will. So everything that I try my best to talk to you guys about is really just geared towards self-love, self-reflection, self-improvement. And so I want to talk about sex. I want to have a serious conversation about sex and how a lot of us have a very unhealthy relationship with sex. The reason why I feel like this is a discussion that needs to be had is because there are a lot of people out here who claim to be hopeless romantics who have sex with, you know, whoever they want to. And here's the thing. I am not saying that having sex with whoever you want to is an issue, but if you claim to look for love or a serious relationship or to have more control over your dating life or your life period, I would strongly, highly suggest taking sex off the table for yourself. The reason why I say this is because sometimes judgment can be highly clouded when sex is involved. Sometimes we ignore red flags because sex is involved. Someone can have really bad behavior but have really good sex, which keeps people in situations that they should have never stayed in. And I think that this needs to be discussed because we are in a time of sex positive. We are in a time of everyone wanting the ability to have sex freely, no strings attached, you know, friends with benefits. And so it can be very damaging to someone who has like a very unhealthy relationship with sex. Now, I remember one time I had this talk with a group that I was in on Facebook. And the amount of backlash that I received for it, I was honestly surprised by it because here's the thing. If something does not align with you, if someone's message does not align with you, if you feel like it's not speaking to you, it doesn't mean that it's not helpful to other people. It doesn't mean that it doesn't resonate or speak to someone else's soul. So just because it's not for you does not make it wrong, right? Like, I have opinions on a lot of things, but if something doesn't align with me, then I keep it pushing, right? And, you know, we all have free will, but I can imagine if I'm not getting paid to argue with somebody that I wouldn't argue. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the backlash, now I can take it. Your girl got a backbone. Okay, I can take it. But I thought it was a very interesting thing to see, specifically women, so upset at the fact of someone saying, take away sex to open your eyes. oh, you can have sex on the first date. Me and my husband, we had sex on the first date and it worked out perfectly fine for us. And oh, you can have sex with whoever you want to. Here's the thing. I feel like that rhetoric can be very, very harmful to people who are damaged. People who have trauma, people who have been abused in the past, people who lack trust, people who don't know how to set healthy boundaries. And so while we feel like it is a good thing to tell somebody, yeah, you can have sex with whoever you feel like having sex with. Oh yeah, you can have one night stands. You can go to the club and meet somebody and have sex. Oh yeah, it's a good time. But there are a lot of damaged people who are doing this, that are hurting themselves and that are hurting other people. Sex can absolutely be an addiction. Sex can absolutely cloud judgment. And so it's the grown-up thing to do. It's cute and it's fun to do. But we are not taking into account that there are a lot of people who are harmed, who were harmed by sex, and sex used as a weapon. Now, the reason why I say take sex off the table if you, number one, have an unhealthy relationship with sex, and this can look like a lot of things, right? This can look like you confuse someone wanting to have sex with you with them actually liking you, and unfortunately, people can mask a lot of their intentions for temporarily because they want to have sex with you. They'll tell you they love you, they care about you, all this to get into your pants, right? So if you decide to take sex off the table, even just for a little while, even for a month or whatever, your eyes will start to open and you start to realize people's true intentions. There was this girl that I'm friends with on Facebook, and she decided to be, forgive me, I don't know if she said she was abstinent or celibate. I can't remember, but I think she was abstinent. She was just abstaining from sex just for her own personal reasons. And she was talking to this guy, and his attitude completely shifted. I mean, it was instant. She showed the messages, right? Like, his whole demeanor changed. He went from, oh, I would love to take you out. I would love to do this. I would love to do that. And, oh, you're just so beautiful. You're this wonderful woman. And then the moment that she said, hey, that's sex is something that I prefer to leave off the table for me right now. Like, this is just something that's not for me. And at first he pushed the boundary by saying, oh, well, we'll see how that's changed. No, baby, we're not, because this is my boundary. This is where I am. Flag number one, you're trying to test my boundaries. Diabolical. Okay. The second red flag, and the third basically, was he got very defensive, very angry, very rude and disrespectful. This told so much about his character. This told so much about this individual's character, because it's one thing for sex being off the table being a deal breaker for you, but it's another thing to show who you really are and to be rude and disrespectful about it. You can easily just say, you know what, I appreciate your honesty, but that just doesn't work for me, right? This dude really took it up a notch, and he was so disrespectful to this woman, all because she took sex off the table, right? And I said all that to say, if you feel like you have an unhealthy relationship with sex, so that can look like you have a hard time with intimacy, but you have no problem having sex. Like, intimacy makes you uncomfortable, and that's, cuddling and kissing and hugging, and it makes you feel uncomfortable, right? But you can easily have sex. 9 times out of 10, you probably have a very unhealthy relationship with sex. That's not always the case. Sometimes it could be like you just didn't grow up with affection growing up, but sometimes it is associated with trauma. When you have a difficult time with intimacy, getting close to someone, you don't look at closeness as sex, right? You don't associate closeness with sex. Sex is just sex, but then you look at the intimacy part of it, the physical touch, like holding hands and cuddling and hugging, and not necessarily leading to sex, but just the intimacy of it, like the physical touch, is very difficult for you. You probably have an unhealthy relationship with sex, and sometimes it may be very difficult for you to differentiate if someone actually likes you for who you are, or they just want to have sex with you. And I kind of feel like I'm getting off topic here, but So I want to go back to the post that I made, and I talked about how, you know, if you are a hopeless romantic, if you catch yourself always getting your heart broken, if you catch yourself being on the losing end of the stick all the time when it comes to romance and relationships and feeling used, taking sex off the table will teach you so much about yourself and how you can analyze other people's intentions, their behaviors, how they treat you, their patterns. You can learn them so easily when that is off the table. I think that I was highly disappointed and disturbed at how combative people were when I said this, only because I'm protecting the girls. I am protecting the girls who don't know what love is, who tie love and sex in the same category, who think that it's synonymous. Love and sex is synonymous. Who are disrespected but will accept the disrespect because their partner is decent in bed. They know how to do what they do. I am protecting the girls who cry every night. Who, their partner, they do might give them good sex, but haven't bought a gift in years. Who haven't cuddled them in years. Who don't even take out the trash in years without asking. Who would rather spend time outside of the home than in the home. That's who I'm talking to. And it really saddens me to know that fighting for our self-preservation, our self-respect, our self-love, our self-care is something to be argued. That's concerning to me. There are a lot of damaged adults out here. And what is that saying? It's hurt people hurt people. There's a lot of that going on. And so I would rather tell somebody, hey, test yourself out. Take sex off the table for 30 days. You're actively dating? Cool. Take sex off the table for the next 30 days. See how you feel. Look at another person's actions, behaviors, patterns. See if you see a difference between, I would even challenge you 60 days. Because it's really not even about the other person, it's about you getting yourself back. As a person that has struggled with trauma in the past, that has been taken advantage of at some point, having an unhealthy relationship with sex can really challenge, harm, and deteriorate your self-love, your self-respect, and half the time you probably don't even know who you are, because you're always looking for validation. You're always looking for the next "you're so beautiful," the next compliment, just the next something to make you feel like something. And so here's the thing. I am not a relationship expert. I really don't strive to be. Everything that I like to talk about is really just self-love, putting yourself first, having boundaries. And so some of us don't even know what a boundary is, let alone creating them. Some of us have been coerced into situations that we shouldn't have been in. We didn't deserve. And so this really isn't about sex. It's about what comes with sex. There's so much that comes with sex. So much that comes with it, that I don't think that people realize how dangerous it can be. Aside from the physical diseases that you can get, from it, and illnesses and infections, the mental illnesses and infections that you can get from it is concerning. And so that's why we need to talk about it. We tell everybody to do what you want to do, you grown, or have fun, but this type of fun can cost you your life. We're not talking about playing a video game. We're not talking about watching a movie. We're talking about you having your body open to people who don't even deserve a hello. We're talking about exposing our precious gift, our bodies, to people who have bad intentions, who have bad energy, and who are preying on you. Not praying with you, not praying for you, praying on you. And so I just want us to really start taking these decisions seriously, because they can cost you a lot of emotional, mental, spiritual warfare that a lot of times we don't look at it as something serious, because it is fun, and it is that serious. So if you feel like you have an unhealthy relationship, so with sex, again, it can look like, intimacy in the form of not sex, physical touch, things like that they make you feel uncomfortable. They make you feel uneasy because of it's trauma and you don't know how to be intimate. If you feel like in order to get someone to like you, you have to have sex with them, trauma. If you confuse someone loving you, liking you, caring for you with sex, trauma. And we got to unpack that, y'all. I don't even know what else to say. We have to unpack that. There's so much that I want to talk about this, but I feel like I want to talk about it at a later date, because it's so heavy on me right now. It's really bothering me, that I don't even know if that I would even, have the correct words to discuss it. But I think that we need to have a serious talk. Tell me what y'all think in the comments, because I really want to know your thoughts on today's episode. I love y'all so much. I know this was very, very heavy, but I really appreciate y'all for watching me and listening. Please be careful, protect yourself, love yourself, and I want the best for us. And I love y'all. I really do. Please do not forget to follow your girl on Instagram and TikTok at Loveveetalks. And I forgot to mention, I am on Lemon 8. So follow your girl on Lemon 8, Loveveetalks. And if you're interested in collaborating or promo, loveveetalks@gmail.com. I'm going to leave all that information in the description box. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I love y'all. Until next time. Bye.